J3 Productions bringing you another Mezcal comparison. Today we have the 112 Collective Green Arrow. Not gonna lie, I was really excited to do this one. I know quite a few people have already done this comparison, and I've heard a lot of bad things about this figure, so I was kind of excited to get my hands on it and just see exactly what was going on with it. Just a reminder, this is not a review of the Mezco Green Arrow. This is more of a comparison. My goal is to let you guys know how to tell the difference, how to spot a fake, and just to know, when you've got these guys going for well over $200, to let you know, do you want to spend the big money to do the real deal? Okay, I use the KOs for kind of stunt figures in my stop motions. In the case of the Green Arrow, I was really excited to get some more arrows and an extra bow because I really didn't want to damage the official Mezco one. So that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the comparison. I'm going to start first with the accessories, okay, and of course the main accessory is the bow here, okay. Try and get this in focus here. Yeah, like I said, one of the big reasons I grabbed this guy was to have a bow that I could use, and this is the Mezco Bow here. If you can see in the camera, the string itself, it's a dark green, almost like a black. It's kind of elasticy, and it's functional. When you're posing him, he can draw it back, and bring it forward. And it actually holds pretty well. I've done quite a few shots with this bow in a shooting position, and it holds well. I was a little disappointed when I got the KO bow. I had seen that you see the thread is different. It's a very clear green. The other thing that's different that I didn't notice, just by looking at pictures online, is that it really is just a thread. It's not as elasticy. So when I was shooting with this and pulling it back, eventually it stopped coming back into place. Also, it unraveled from both sides. So what I actually had to do was I actually super glued the string around it. So just something to be mindful of. Also, mine shipped broken. So the bow is actually broken in the package. I had to go ahead and super glue the bow as well. So it has worked for me, but just something to keep in mind. When you spot a really green thread on the pictures, that is going to be the KO bow versus a darker thread on the Mezco. With the arrow pack, and this is just about the same on all the arrows that come with it, so I'm just gonna really focus on one. But as you can see, I've got the Mezco on my left, I've got the KO on my right, and the detailing is just so much better on the Mezco. It's round where it's supposed to be round, it's pointy where it's supposed to be pointy. You can really see the details in the sculpt. This guy, not so much. It's kind of it's misshapen in parts, and where it's some parts where it's supposed to have detailing, you don't even see it. So it's not good, obviously, but it's not terrible. It's livable. That's not the biggest problem. On to the knives. So the knives have a sheath on the back of the figure. And one big difference is that with the Mezco, the sheath actually does a really good job of holding the knife here. To the point where it stays in once you put it in. Okay. The KO, on the other hand, when you put the knife in, it will not stay. So it goes in fine, slides in, obviously actually a little too easy, and it's not going to stay in there. So just something to note. Okay. Last accessory I want to talk about is the quiver. As you can see, the quiver is attached to the back on the Mezco. On the KO, you have these two little holes where I suppose you could attach the quiver, but the quiver does not come fully attached. And I have tried to put the quiver on just with pressure, and that has not worked. So I'm assuming you could super glue. You could take these two little pegs here, put them in there, super glue, and then it would be affixed. I haven't done it because for the purpose of this review, I wanted to show that, and I'm not sure that I will, but just something to note. That being said, let's go ahead and let's move on to the body of these figures. First and foremost, we want to go ahead and let's look at the head sculpt. As is to be expected on the head sculpt, you're just a lot cleaner, you're a lot finer. Great paint apps on the Mezco, as to be expected. What's disappointing about the KO is, I can it's got a blemish, that's not going to be on every single KO. Mine has a blemish there on the cheek, it's pretty noticeable. But the problem is, and I see it in pictures, is this discoloration around, the edges of the forehead, the temple. It looks like bruising almost. And I've seen that in pictures of a lot of them, so I think that that's kind of a standard control quality issue. So that to me, because it's in the face sculpt, that kind of makes it a deal. The hair on mine, I don't know if you can see it there, is faded in a spot, bad paint apps there. So obviously I know that that's something that you kind of expect to get, but I have seen in pictures that kind of seems like a standard issue. Next thing I want to talk about, seeing these in pictures, I always thought that the Mezco was significantly taller than the KO, and that's because when you look at the pictures in the packaging, you see the hood of the KO, and it's always up like this. So I figured they put it on the same hood on a smaller body, and that's why you got that look. Okay, that's not actually the case. The reason apparently we get that look is because the hood itself has no wire. Okay, the real deal, wired hood, so you can pose it, you can get a nice good look there. Okay, can't get that with this one. Even putting the hood back, you can't get to stay back unless you take it and you have to fold it under inside out like that to even get that look. So that's really the only look that you can do, obviously, because you don't want a hood that's standing a foot off of his head. So that's another disappointing thing that makes it difficult. Another thing just to be able to look at and tell which one's which in anybody's picture, at the base of the suit on the Mezco comes to a nice clean end with the zipper here. And the zipper that they used on the KO, hard to see, but it's a big square, almost like a buckle at the end. So that's a different zipper mechanism that was used on the KO than the Mezco. That being said, the Mezco Green Arrow is one of my favorite figures. Absolutely love it. I love the bow. I love the outfit that Green Arrow has. The wired hood is fantastic. It's a great character and it's a great representation. The KO, I wanted to like it. I wanted it to see it for what it is. I have to say it's pretty bad. I know I've seen a lot of people review it, and theirs didn't physically make it through the review. Mine has held up. I have posed it. I do use it for staging my shots, and it has held up. So I can't say that about it. It does feel a little bit loose, but it is what it is. You get what you pay for in that respect, and so if you really want a Green Arrow Mezco, and you don't want to pay the Green Arrow Mezco price, you can go with the KO, but I'm telling you right now, you're going to be pretty disappointed. That's all I have to say about the Green Arrow Mezco KO. Go ahead and leave any question or comments, feedback down in the comments section. As always, appreciate a like and a subscribe, and keep it tuned here for more Mezco KO comparisons. Thanks, guys.